Something has changed within me.
You've got to make everything musical.
Everything has to be theatrical.
Got to stay on topic. So I think throughout the whole time at GSA, I was the Windows 95 startup sound.
No, you know what you were? You were the error sound. Doo-doo.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of the ChatterCake podcast with me, Brad.
And me, Aidan.
Coming up on this week's episode, we'll be covering all the hottest topics and the funniest news stories, and we'll also be answering your guys' questions that you sent us on social media.
And later on in the podcast, we will be joined by the wonderful Nick Gartland, Garty himself, of the band Out at Sea. And we'll be talking all things music and band life with him. But before we get started with that, I think because some of you won't know us that well, it's probably a good idea to actually give you a bit of insight as to who we are. Yeah. So, Brad, why don't you kick us off?
So, I grew up in a place called Cradley Heath, Old Hill. Which is sort of, is it west of Birmingham? Me asking you where I live. So I grew up there.
West.
Is it west? Oh, well. So I grew up there. So I've lived there ever since I was a little boy. And then when I was 18, I left house to move to Guildford, to go to the Guildford School of Acting. But actually, before that, I went to Birmingham Ormiston Academy, which is where I met Aidan. And the first show I saw you in was Honk.
Oh,
I remember speaking to you at the stage door.
Yeah,
or not the stage door, outside.
Because obviously,
outside the corridor.
We were a year apart, weren't we? You were the year above me, so
yes.
You were in year 12 at that point, and I would have been in year 11.
Yes,
so...
and then we properly became friends when we both got selected to be in the Wedding Singer musical in Manchester at the Lowry, because they were auditioning BOA students specifically. I think it was at the audition day. Were you at the audition day?
No, I wasn't.
Because I remember at the audition day, it was only me, Max, and Matt, and then it was Josh Gannon as well. I think Daniel Walters was there as well.
Yeah, and basically Rianne Holloway at the time, who was one of our acting teachers, she came up to us and she said Lee Crowley, who ended up choreographing and was choreographer for the company and for the Wedding Singer, said Lee wants to have a chat with you and Bobby at the time, who was in my year.
Oh yeah, of course, Bobby.
Yeah, and
I remember.
And we were a bit baffled as to why. And Lee came up and said, basically, we need 2 extra guys to be in the show because not enough guys in the year above actually auditioned to take part. And he said, I've seen you in classes. I really like the way you guys work. Is there any chance you'd be interested? And then he told us how much money it was going to cost. And that was a question. But ended up taking...
How much was it now?
It was over £1,000. It was over £1,000.
Oh, God. I actually forgot how much
it cost. It was over £1,000 to be in that show.
Wow.
But I did it and loved it. One of the best experiences. And I came out with some of the best friends that I've ever had in my life.
It was such an incredible experience.
And that was when me and you guys, some of you might know him actually, but obviously he's not part of the podcast, but Matt Nicholas, who is one of mine and Brad's closest friends. That was when us guys got really close as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Before I move on, I will say the funniest memory from Wedding Singer, you know what I'm going to say, don't you?
Oh.
So it was night time. We were all in bed. Do you want to act it out?
Yeah, let's reenact it.
And it was, what time was it? Was it like 4 a.m?
Yeah, it was about 4 a.m.
It must have been 4 a.m, 5 a.m. And the fire alarm went off.
Oh.
And
went off.
Aidan,
I think went off is an under-exaggeration. That thing was screaming at the top of its lungs.
I shit myself.
And let's give these people a demonstration, shall we? Right, let's prepare. Let's
all right, okay.
Oh, here we go. Right.
Okay. we shot honestly, straight up at the same time.
Eye contact was direct.
It was literally like woo 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 woo. We locked eyes. It was sort of
like, honestly, I think I was surprised that Lee didn't walk in and go, guys, your syncopation there was incredible. Like, you guys were, it was just perfect.
And
the timing was great, you know. Oh, amazing.
And do you remember Mal stormed and he was like, right, everybody out. Out of the fire exit.
Anything, get outside. But yeah, that was hilarious. But yeah, so what have you done since graduating from the Guildford School of Acting then?
So I moved to St Albans. Actually, fun fact, I moved to London a year ago today.
Did you?
A year ago today, I was packing my things up into the moving van all the way to go to my auntie's and move in with my auntie.
That's great. It's so mad how time flies.
What have I been doing? So I was in Miracle on 34th Street at the old Joint Stock Theatre where I played Fred Gailey. Beautiful experience. I did it with my good friend Sam Carlisle, who was with me in the Full Monty as well, which was my first professional show that I did when I was going from second year to third year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I auditioned for it because I saw it, and I had to ask people at GSA if I could actually audition.
How was that? How was it bearing all in front of it? Bearing in mind, guys, the old Joint Stock is about the size of my bedroom. It's intimate.
Literally, yeah.
So how was it stripping completely naked in front of those people? Because I know your character didn't actually have to get completely naked, but you did it on the closing night, didn't you?
Yeah, I didn't. So we did it as a sort of surprise thing, because I remember Adam texting me on a Wednesday night after a performance. I just got home, I made myself a cup of tea, and I was about to go to bed, and I got a text through from Adam Lacey that said, "How do you think about going Full Monty on closing night?" And I was like, no hesitation. I was like, "Yes, I will do it." But we didn't tell the rest of the cast.
Incredible.
Apart from the lads. The lads knew who were getting naked.
But all the girls didn't.
But all the girls didn't know. And what we did, because I did it first on the matinee.
Yeah.
So it was a surprise on the matinee. So they
knew in the
we could test it on the matinee.
Yeah.
And I mixed up my lines, because I think the original line is from Keno. He says, "You're too chicken. You're not gonna do it." But then I went, "Hey, if you're going to go the Full Monty, so will I." And I took my clothes off.
Incredible.
And the girls were like, no, what are you doing? What are you doing? Stop, Brad. No. Why are you improvising? And I knew the choreography anyway, because I was Adam's understudy. And me and the lads came into an early rehearsal and we practiced it, and I did it on the matinee and got my wang out.
Incredible. That's brilliant.
It was amazing.
That is why I love theatre.
It's brilliant. Oh, my God.
Amazing.
It was the funniest experience I've ever had in theatre, I think. It was brilliant. Anyway, what have you been up to? Enough about me. Talk about you.
So, pretty much the same as Brad. Like, pretty much the same as you, mate, with when it comes to growing up. Except for so Brad's from, like, Cradley Heath, which is more Dudley way. Or for those of you who like the stereotype, Dudley.
Dudley. Or when people say, "Oh, where are you from?" And we go, "Oh, I'm from Dudley." Where's
Dudley.
That? But I'm from Birmingham. I'm from Birmingham, all right. That's all we say.
Not Birmingham. It's the Black Country. But
yeah,
Black Country. So I'm also from the Black Country. I'm not from Birmingham. I'm from a place called West Bromwich. Which is, again, I was about to say West. I don't actually know in relation to Birmingham.
West.
It's in the West Midlands, which I know is a very large area. So it's kind of vague, but it's in the West Midlands. So I'm from a place called West Bromwich. Grew up here. Went to Boa. And that's where I met Brad. Did 4 years there, because I did year 9 and year 10, and then 11. I did year 10. I definitely didn't do year 9. Did Boa have a year
8 and 9?
I did year 10, 11, 12, and year 13 there. And luckily enough, in year 13, I auditioned, got into GSA, same as Brad. That phone call was hilarious. I've never had a phone call like that in my life. The day that you...
we got into GSA together?
Yeah, and we found out...
Because you found out first, didn't you?
I found out first, even though Brad had auditioned before me.
Didn't you find out like 3 days out, or like a week after?
Yeah, I found out 4 days after I
was still waiting after 3 weeks.
And I called Brad.
The wait was killing me.
Yeah, I called Brad to tell him, and obviously Brad was chuffed for me, but I could tell that you were like anxious as to why you hadn't heard it. And then I think about 2 or 3. Yeah, I think about 2 or 3 days later, Brad called me and was like, "Remember that time we had a conversation saying how much we want to go to drama school together?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like,
"We're going to drama school!"
And I burst into tears. I was ecstatic. I was jumping up and down in my room. So that's we went to GSA together, had an amazing 3 years.
Yeah.
We were Shronky. So
I was going to say this wouldn't be a Brad and Aidan podcast if we didn't talk about Shrek.
Because
that's another thing. That's another story about
we've got
how we
stories.
found out.
We'll save them for another podcast. Otherwise, this is going to be the only podcast we ever make.
Oh no, we've got loads of stories.
Lots of stories. So we played Shrek and Donkey together at GSA. It was amazing, and then we both graduated with we were both very lucky to get great agents, whatever. So I did a little job first at the Union called Show Tune.
You did, didn't you?
Yeah, so I obviously went and did that, and it was great. And obviously, it was only a very short run and stuff.
How long was it?
And then, it was the actual run of the show was 4 weeks.
Oh yeah.
It was 7 weeks in total. So it was 4 weeks of shows and 3 weeks of rehearsals. So I did that, and then the industry kind of went quiet because I don't know, in terms of, I don't know how many of you watching know that in the theatre industry, there's auditions going all the time, but you have like an audition season, which is like March, April, May time, just as students are graduating and signing with agents. The industry, like all the big shows, all like the blockbuster shows as such, have their audition period. And I kind of missed all of that because I didn't sign with my agent, Peter, at Global until after Shrek, which was like halfway through April. So after Show Tune had closed, which obviously was a great experience, things were very quiet for me. And I didn't have many auditions. And I had a panto audition that I thought went really well and didn't get it. But this is the funny thing. I thought that panto audition had gone really, really well. Like I was chuffed with it, and they were laughing and they loved it. And I was up for the roller buttons in Cinderella, basically.
Oh, you would have been amazing as that.
Yeah, and I loved the audition. I did the whole thing in a really thick black country accent, and they were giggling the whole way through. And I was like, right, I might have a chance here. I might be in with a chance of getting this. And I actually got a letter a couple of days later saying, I'm very fortunate to actually hear from them in the case that it's a no, but they were like, unfortunately, Aidan just wasn't quite right this time. And I was gutted. And then Peter called me up and said, I've got one more audition come through for you, and it's for Biff in Back to the Future at the Manchester Opera House. But yeah, so I went in and did the audition and sang a song from the show, which is an amazing song, I got a call a week later. Bearing in mind, like I said, I thought the panto audition had gone really well, didn't get the job. I actually left, no word of a lie, after that audition, and the first person I called was my dad, and I cried my eyes out, saying, that is the worst audition I've ever done in my entire life.
Really?
I was shaking like a leaf, I was a nervous wreck, basically. I was like, there's no chance I'm getting this job. And then a week later, I got a call from Peter, and he was just talking various things like, formal stuff about paperwork that I needed to get done for him or whatever. And I thought that was all the call was about.
Yeah.
And he went, oh, and by the way, you haven't got to worry about work next year because you're playing Biff at the Opera House.
Mad. If I would have got that phone call, I would have been like...
I was in my room in
what?
London and I went... Honestly, I was going mad, but all of the guys that I live with in London, they were out at work. So when they got home, I told them all, and it's safe to say we got very drunk that evening. Honestly, it was. And then obviously I went and did that. I had an amazing experience. Unfortunately, it was cut short due to coronavirus.
Yeah, I was going to go see it, but then it got cut short.
Yeah, but the time that we had doing the show was amazing, and I'm positive in here that we will be back. And Back to the Future will return on the stage, but I'm not sure, so don't take my word for it because I don't actually know anything.
I hope it does, man, because obviously
I hope it does, mate. It's a great show.
Yeah, because a lot of people who are following us, they actually contacted us and said, because obviously we tweeted that it was by me and you, and they were like, "Oh my God, is that Aidan Cutler who's in Back to the Future?" And we had messages asking that, and then we had people saying, "Oh, I didn't get to see it. I had tickets booked and everything."
Yeah.
So obviously people want to come and see it. I was going to come and see it on closing night. Actually, I was going to come surprise you.
Oh, mate.
On closing night. That. Yeah, I didn't say anything because obviously.
Well, I mean, most of my family didn't even get to see it, mate, because of all that had happened. Because I basically I'd said to my family, wait a little bit until the show's kind of settled in and is solid and exactly where we want it to be. So after press night, basically, previews are amazing, but I wanted them to see the complete end result. So my sister and my brother and my nephews and nieces, they were all waiting. And then obviously the show got cancelled because of coronavirus, which is gutting. But I'm in a much more fortunate position than a lot of people in the world are, safe and healthy and in under a warm roof and in a warm bed. So I can't complain at all.
Yeah. What have you been up to since lockdown then?
Since lockdown, well,
obviously you've gone back to Birmingham, Warsaw, West Brom. Yeah. So you've obviously gone back there.
Yeah.
What have you been up to, man?
So at first, mate, really nothing. I'll be honest. I kind of just sat on the settee binging Netflix series. I think I watched Tiger King about 17 times.
Man, that's incredible documentary.
I just binged Netflix and ate loads of food and started to put weight on. I was basically feeling sorry for myself. Oh God, I'm getting deep here. But I was feeling sorry for myself over the fact that the show had been cancelled and I'd just lost my dream job.
Yeah.
And then I kind of just had to kick myself back in. And I was like, look, like I just said, there are people in the world that are a lot less well off right now than I am. A lot less terrible English, but that awful
a
English.
Lot less.
A lot less.
You know that Windows 95 startup sound. That's what was going through your mind.
No, that was what was going through my mind. Was have you ever when you know that if you can do when you know
that meme is me. At GSA, whenever a teacher asks a question, I put my hand up and I'll be like, "Well, the thing is, I think, So I think throughout the whole time at GSA, I was the Windows 95 startup sound.
No, you know what you were? You were the error sound. You were that.
Mate, I was error 404 all the way through GSA.
Server not found.
Mate. Oh my God.
But yeah, so not much really. And then, recently I've started going for a lot of walks and trying to clear my mind get a lot of fresh air. So one of the things I've learned during all of this is, because I've always been the kind of person, you lived with me for 2 years. I've always been the kind of person that I never used to be able to be by myself for more than half an hour without driving myself insane. So this has kind of taught me that being solitary and spending time by yourself now and again is actually really good for you.
It's really important, man.
Yeah.
It's really important.
Going out and getting some fresh air and stuff, that's been really good. And I've started playing golf now again under restriction rules, because you are allowed to go and play golf at a 2 meter distance. So I've been playing golf the last couple of weeks. And I've started a new job this week, working for my brother. So that's pretty cool. I mean, I'm absolutely exhausted because it's real hard work, but it's been amazing. So what have you been doing during lockdown?
So I am down in Salisbury with my girlfriend Becky. So I'm just living here. I've been down here since end of March, and I'm just I've offered to pay my way, but they're like, no, don't worry about it, and I feel really bad. But her parents and her family are such lovely people. I'm so fortunate to be with them during this lockdown period and stuff. But what have me and Becky been doing? We have just been trying to be as productive as possible, because Becky's still doing lessons. Becky is on Zoom every single day, apart from the weekends, obviously. She's doing radio play The Changeling at the minute.
Yeah, you were telling me about this.
That'll be out soon, and we'll be sharing that on all our social media, and we'll be plugging it and making sure you people watch it, because it's going to be really, really good. I've been hearing some of the stuff that they've been doing. It sounds really, really good. But she's on Zoom every day. So while she's on that, I've been doing stuff for this, been coming up with ideas.
Yeah, that's something else I've been doing as well, is preparing for this.
Yeah.
Trying to make sure this goes to plan.
We've had a lot of conversations. We've been on Zoom a lot. I mean, we're on Zoom right now. We've been trying to come up with first of all, the name for the podcast.
Oh, that took a while.
Oh God, I cannot tell you how many times I searched the name we wanted on iTunes or YouTube or just Google itself. It was like, that name is taken. I was like, so the reason why we're called ChatterCake
because
is
Brad
because,
loves a good chatter and I love cake.
I mean, everybody love cake.
Everybody love cake.
Everybody love cake.
I'm making waffles. I can't do it. I
No,
can't do
Shrek
it.
is for another week.
Impression.
Shrek is for another week.
Yeah, guys, you got to come back if you want to see Brad's amazing impressions.
Oh God, I will do them at some point.
Stop, no, don't.
Oh God, guys, come on. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. I mean, I only came up for the idea for this, like, I think it was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
2.5 weeks ago. I was like,
and it's been buried in my mind.
I want to do a podcast. I'm going to do a podcast
in my mind ever since.
Yeah, I know.
But anyway, so I think it's time, because I think we've told everyone enough about ourselves now.
Yes.
I think everybody has a complete history of Bradley Walwyn and Aidan Cutler. So why don't we move on, Brad?
Yes,
and
let's
do some. What am I on about? Talk about some. Let's do some. Let's talk about some funny news stories.
All right, guys. So the first story the story that I've got, the headline reads, "Monstrous Carbonara makes the Italians despair." Now I'm going to put it on screen for you now. Take a look at this. This was a carbonara.
What is that?
Made by someone, and he posted it on Twitter. Or Facebook, I should say. And the article reads, a Facebook user shared a picture of his carbonara to a group, and people are saying it looks so bad he's obviously given up on life. Stephen S. shared a photo of his carbonara in the Facebook group Rate My Plate, and then he did not hold back. Have you seen Rate My Plate?
Yeah, I have.
Oh,
have you also seen like the Gordon Ramsay one, where people send it to Gordon Ramsay and they say, "What do you think of my dish?" And he replies to them on Twitter.
My favourite one from Gordon Ramsay. Someone sent in, "Hey Gordon Ramsay, rate my pizza bite," and then he put back, "Pizza shite." That is one of my favourite ones. But yeah, this carbonara. I mean, you guys just saw it on screen. It is not a carbonara. It's spaghetti. It's Heinz spaghetti.
That's Heinz tin spaghetti.
I don't even think it's Heinz, because I think it's like.
It's probably like
it must be like Superstore's own or something.
That's as the super price. That's what that is. That's as the smart price. That's what that is. That is a 17 pence tin of spaghetti strands. What is going on?
Let's get to the cheese. That's sliced cheese for barbecue burgers, and that's not even a whole hot dog. It's not. It's like
meat.
Half the hot dog.
The meat. What is going on with meat?
That isn't even spaghetti and meatballs.
If it had more ham, it'd be a bit like an English carbonara. If my grandmother had wheels, she would have
been a bike.
You know what I mean?
If my grandmother had wheels, she would have been a bike.
Right. Well, I've got a funny news story for you that I found. Then. So. What I'm going to do is, some of you guys at home might have already seen this, because this is going viral at the minute. Brad, I don't know if you've seen this or not.
I think I might have.
But let's have a look-see. Sorry, guys. We're on Zoom, and I'm just trying to share the screen. So, yeah, please watch again and let me know what you think. Yeah.
Hey guys, so I got a lot of questions after my last video, and everyone wanted to see me make hot tea or British tea. So today we are going to make tea. So fill our mug with water, put it in the microwave, set it for a minute, pour the milk in, drop your tea bag in, add the sugar.
Why so much sugar?
Give it a little stir. And that's how you make hot tea.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
No, that's not how you make hot tea, love. It really isn't.
Why did she look so sad when she was stirring it? She knows, like, this is not how you make it.
She's literally there going, I know everyone's disappointed in me.
Honestly, that's how I would have been if I was stirring that.
Well, this is a question that I want to ask our guest Nick Gartland as well when he appears. But Brad, what is your ideal cup of tea?
So my ideal cup of tea is I put the tea bag in the cup, obviously. Yes. Then I pour the hot water in and I leave it for at least a minute.
Yeah.
just so it's nice and strong.
So it's
Then I had 2 sugars, and then I put I used to have it really, really milky. Like I used to have it like.
Right, hang on. Do you take the tea bag out before you put the sugars in?
Yes, I did take the tea bag out. Yeah.
I thought you were about to say you leave the tea bag in.
Can I just say, anyone who puts the milk in first,
get out.
Unfollow me.
Just
unfollow me.
There's no need for you to be watching the podcast. Please leave.
Just unfollow me. Like how? Oh, how do you put the milk in first?
Tea should be right. It should be a combination of a tea bag sitting readily in a mug or cup of your choice.
Yes.
Then add boiling hot water. Right? Why did I sound like Gordon Ramsay? Then add boiling hot water. Right. So what you got to do now is you got to put the sugar in. Right. And then you add your boiling water, and then you eat stew, like Brad said. You give it a quick stir, squeeze the tea bag, get all the juices out, so it's a nice strong cuppa. Then you add your sugars. My preference is 2. I have 2 sugars. Then I add my milk. Give it a stir. Nice. You know what I mean? That's a cup of tea.
Can you imagine
the amount of milk? Firstly, she put it in the wrong order, but the sheer amount of milk, the audacity of that girl putting that much milk in a cup of tea, that's an abomination.
Imagine imagine like people making a cup of tea on like Hell's Kitchen, and Gordon Ramsay going, No, you put the milk in first, you fucking donkey! you, get out! you, get out! Call that a cup of tea? Disgrace!
That's not tea, it's fucking raw! That is honestly, that's what you call a monstrosity.
I see what you did. I would like to say that I know we discussed that we weren't gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
But I feel like it needs to be addressed.
I do think it needs to be
relevant. The Black Lives Matter movement, we are fully behind it.
Both of us are, the way we said it the other day was both of us are avid supporters of this movement.
Yes, we are.
Both of us are fully behind the actions being taken by the Black Lives Matter movement, and we are allies of people of colour, and we have many friends, of different races and ethnicities, and we're completely behind it. But the reason being, and if people disagree with this and people think that this isn't actually correct and that we should go ahead and talk about it, or maybe we should talk about it, but bring on a guest who
that's what I wanted to say.
Maybe could have a bit more input. But I think we felt that because we're two middle class, white
I'm
guys,
not middle class.
we're two middle class, working class white guys, that it wouldn't be quite right for us to be talking about Black Lives Matter,
because I don't think we are educated enough on it. I'd say that I'm not educated enough. I am striving to be better.
I think in the last couple of weeks I've spent so much time listening to a lot of podcasts, and I've been listening to a lot of videos on YouTube and like the little videos that come up on social media talking about it, and it's so important. I'm so behind it, but like I said, I just don't think it's right for us to talk about it. Like I said, if you guys disagree, please let us know and we will talk about it. But for two middle class white guys to talk about that kind of stuff, I just don't think it's right in a way. If you guys are sat here listening to this and going, why on earth aren't they talking about it when it's so prominent at the moment?
Yeah, exactly.
There's a very good reason for it.
Yeah.
It's not that we're ignoring it. There's
But,
so moving on, I think now it is time. It is that time that everybody has been waiting for.
Oh yes.
The exciting time of the night. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our wonderful guest,
Nick Gartland.
Yeah.
Hello, thanks.
How you doing, man? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, good, man. Good, man. What you been up to?
Bits and bobs, mate. Bits and bobs. Currently I'm just in my room at Ealing. I'm actually about to move house next week,
you are. Yeah, I remember you saying.
I'm focused a little bit on that at the moment.
But
Fun fact: I'm actually back with my parents at the minute, but my house in London, in West Ealing, is about 3 roads away from where Nick is right now.
Oh, really?
Correct. So correct.
And we didn't actually know this until one morning. I was on my way into an audition, funnily enough, for Back to the Future, and I turned around and Nick was behind me.
No way.
Yeah, I think we were on the same tube, weren't we? Yeah.
Yeah.
So have you been speaking to the guys much of the band, or you been planning anything?
Yeah. So basically, obviously, we've just released Houdini a couple of weeks ago now, which had like a really good response. We were buzzing and dying to kind of get this one out. It was actually kind of one of the more recent ones that we'd written.
Yeah.
And we had kind of a pool of songs that we were thinking about, what do we want to release next? And then as soon as we kind of got this kind of more of a completed demo, we're like, we have to put this one out next.
Yeah.
And it conveniently fell on a really nice sunny weekend. Because it's like proper one of those summer bops. So it's
it's a proper sit around a barbecue with a cheeky little cocktail. You know, it's got kind of George Ezra-esque kind of vibes to it.
Yeah. It's kind of more of a commercial vibe that we've gone for with this one. Few people have kind of said kind of like a Jonas Brothers Busted vibe, which is kind of like this kind of that type of song really. So yeah, it's been fun. It's been good fun to put that one together. And at the moment we're just kind of writing still, I guess. I'll
say, man, we're looking forward to new stuff that you're going to put out there, because Houdini is a really, really good song.
It's an absolute banger.
Cheers, guys.
It was very, very good. So what I want to know, Nick, how did you guys meet?
So basically the band was formed by Matt and Mark on a ship together, hence the name Out at Sea. And then Ben basically joined them as the drummer, I think a few weeks after that. And then basically Ben had asked me to join the band. So Ben I knew from when I was about 8 years old. We kind of went way back doing kind of amateur dramatics. And we've been like really close for years now. So it kind of came through Ben, and I'd known of Matt and Mark through Ben, but never properly met them. And then that was it really. And then I was part of the band. It was kind of January, February time. So it was kind of it was like a month or so before lockdown kind of started happening.
Oh man, I bet this whole lockdown has really had a lot, like everything else, it's had a really massive effect on you, because I bet you guys were setting up for gigs, weren't you?
So obviously we'd kind of just started rehearsing and kind of playing together and stuff, and it was kind of coming out really well. But we've kind of, in a way, as annoying and frustrating as lockdown obviously is, it's been quite nice in the sense that we've been able to focus on just writing. So we've got kind of a pool now of about 14, 15 songs.
Amazing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When are we going to hear those ones?
Please, can you release them?
When are we hearing some of these pops?
All in due time. But basically, Matt and Mark, they actually got COVID, but they were living together, and they had the kind of the asymptomatic, couldn't smell, couldn't taste. So they quarantined together for 2 weeks. And from those 2 weeks, I think like 10, 11 songs were probably born. And obviously, because we were kind of in lockdown, isolated across different places of the country pretty much, they would kind of send over the demos, and then me and Ben would send our bits back and kind of our suggestions and stuff. So it's been quite a weird one, but nice in the sense that we've been able to kind of go back into and...
Because you would think initially, wouldn't you, that something like that, an interruption so big and so sudden, would completely, stop creative juices flowing as such. But actually, when you think about it, when you've got time to yourself and all you want to do is be creative, it kind of unlocks like a new part of you. And when you've got so much spare time on your hands as well, I suppose, it kind of opens up new doors.
The thing is, most songs come from, like, obviously life experience, but like stuff that's going on right now, and you write about things that have just happened. But like, obviously, nothing's happened this year apart from COVID and like shutting down. Like, it's just shit.
It's been nice, really. We've had, because they had quite a few kind of demos surfacing, but that time really is like allowed us to focus in on them and just kind of craft them into kind of fully fledged songs, as it were.
And I bet you're great to work with as well, because, like, for those who don't know Nick, he has the most diverse taste in music.
Yeah, we said this the other day. You have the most eclectic music taste anybody in the world could have possibly
Like, next thing you know, he's listening to Alt J. Next thing you know, he's listening to Radiohead. And, like, I think what I heard you listening to, oh, God.
The Thomas the
Anything
Tank
and
Engine.
everything.
Yeah, something
Literally
like that.
anything, mate. Anything that's a pure bop.
Yeah, no, I
guarantee that it's on Nick's playlist.
Yeah, I think this is the thing, man. I think I've always kind of had a massive obsession with band music.
Yeah.
And I think everyone knows that. I won't shut up about it. Obviously, I'm a die-hard Radiohead fan.
Oh, God,
yeah, but I think it obviously for me, it's been really nice to kind of be part of a band finally, and just be part of that kind of creative vibe that necessarily I've never really had the opportunity. I'd say I probably could have done, but this kind of just fell onto my lap at a perfect time when I was kind of looking for something to do creatively and be part of, and even to the case of kind of my piano playing and stuff. I mean, the place that I'm at the moment, my landlords have an upright, so I'm lucky to have that. But it's kind of like I wasn't going to studios. I wasn't going to studios though and stuff. So obviously cost to have that. So I didn't have my piano, but that kind of then gave me a drive, being like, oh, I'm part of a band, great. So I've now got my own little synth and stuff. So
have you always wanted to be a member of a band? Because I know I have. I'm so jealous of people that are in a band or play musical instruments. I'm like, that is my biggest regret, not learning how to play an instrument of some sort. I mean, obviously I can note bash a piano to a certain extent, but man, I'd love to be in a band and like tour and just play.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like, most of my kind of like instrument background and training was quite a classical grade approach, but I had this like massive obsession with band music and kind of popular music. I was like, I don't know how to kind of marry the two, so it's kind of been quite nice that almost the opportunity kind of came to me, if that makes sense. But yeah, no, it's good, man. Really, really good.
Well, a question, if I may, I've got a quick question. Because, you know, anybody that really knows me knows that I'm obsessed with anything theatrical, of course. So magic is included in that. And everybody knows that I love the phenomenal, you know, historical magician that is Houdini, the amazing escapology artist. And the question I really wanted to ask is, what was like the basis behind the song? And how did you come up with the idea of Houdini?
So basically, kind of the angle of the song that we went for, it's kind of like a reflection of looking back at kind of a previous relationship or like an old flame, and kind of in a bit of a see you later way of being like, I can't believe I fell for this, and like I can't believe I fell for these kind of tricks and these games, and that's kind of where the Houdini kind of element came, this magic. And it's all this element of kind of seeing that person now go on and use those same old tricks, but they still work. So it's actually it's quite an interesting one, really.
So it's almost like it's supposed to be kind of a nostalgia trip. It's supposed to be quite nostalgic, but also with a hint of having fun with the idea and playing with the idea that you don't always have to look back and reflect on your past as if everything's negative. You can kind of look back and go, what on earth was I playing?
I think that was the thing. We wanted this kind of really summery bop, and the lyrics kind of, they don't contrast it, but it had this kind of element of being like, oh my God, like I can't believe like I went through this and experienced this, but it is kind of like that kind of funny, maybe not funny, but like light-hearted way of going, I'm past that now, but I can see what you're doing. So it's that kind of vibe, and it's worked really well for the song, which is nice.
Nice. Damn has.
So speaking of games and like magic, have you done any quizzes over Zoom with the band or anyone else? I know you've done a GSA quiz with us.
Yeah. So not actually with the band. We've actually opted out of Zoom. I think because we've had so many of our own like individual Zoom quizzes.
Yeah.
We're like, we can't do one as a band. Yeah, I was like, I think we're gonna have to pass on that one. So yeah, but I mean, only until kind of like last week, really, I was definitely having at least like 1 or 2 a week.
Yeah.
I think my general knowledge now is up there. With
Well, funny you should say that because we're going to play one now. This is a segment we like to call
On the Nose.
So this is On the Nose, and I'll explain briefly how this works. So weekly, me and Aidan will take it in turns to be the quiz master or go head-to-head with the guest. So I'll be asking questions related to a statistic. So it could be the date of something, the amount of something, how much something costs, etc. So there'll be a series of questions. You'll have 10 seconds on the clock, and whoever gets the closest to the exact answer will get a point. If you're on the nose, then you get 2 points. Sounds good?
Sounds.
I have been doing a
mate.
family quiz, right? I've got to put this out there. I've been doing a family quiz every Friday, for which for the first like 5 weeks I was the host. It was my idea to start it up. So if I get any of these wrong, my family are going to be so disappointed in me.
Well, let's find out if Aidan's going to be disowned by his family. It's time to play
On the Nose.
Okay, guys, are we ready?
Beyond ready.
All right. First question. You have 10 seconds on the clock. How many US states end in a vowel? Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold up your answers. What have you got?
32.
23!
Nick Gartland gets a whopping 2 points. Bang on the nose. Oh, yeah. Bang on the nose.
First ever
32.
Question. Our first ever question.
I'm done.
Hang on. Is my camera flipping? Because I've written 23, but it looks like 32.
Oh, yeah.
Hang on, is
Oh
my
my
camera
God.
actually flipping right now?
No. I can see 23 right there.
You can see 23.
Yeah. Wow, Nick
Right.
Gartland with a whopping 2 points. Hang on.
Weirdly enough, as well, 32 is my lucky number.
Is it?
Incredible.
Yeah, it's a number that follows me around. So there we go.
That's amazing.
Madness. Okay. Second question. What is the population of Cuba? The 10 second starts now. 4, 3, 2, 1. Put your pens down. What have you got?
900,000.
What does that say, Aidan? 49,000. Oh my God. How small do you think Cuba is? No, the correct answer is 11.3 million.
I feel like I don't know my geography that well.
Yeah, I think you're right there.
Definitely don't know how big Cuba is scale-wise. The people of Cuba, I apologise.
I don't think we were on the nose. I think we were on the foot there.
Yeah, I think you were on the other person's foot.
No, I think my answer went for a walk there. My answer's somewhere in the middle of West Brom at the minute.
All right. So next question: what exact date did the Titanic sink? Your 10 second starts now. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What does that say? 2nd of Jan 1902.
The 5th of September 1913.
All right, so the exact date is April 15th, 1912.
Oh!
Who was closest? Is it Nick?
That was Garty.
Oh, mate, Nick is running away with the points here, Aidan.
I'm not having this.
Aidan, you need to
You come
get
on my
least...
podcast.
Aidan, you need to get at least a bang on the nose. And
That ain't happening.
I think it may come within the next couple of questions. So the next question is, how many calories are in a Big Mac? Your 10 second starts now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What have we said?
953.
2,210.
I'm not doing very well, am I?
Oh my god.
Yeah, because
2210.
2,210, that's like 1/7 of my daily intake. So I was assuming that was about right.
The answer's 563.
Right. No, I'm not having this. This is bullying.
Mate,
This is bullying of the
if
lowest
someone
form.
ate a Big Mac as part of their meal, mate, they'd had more than their calorie intake in just one meal.
Big Shack with a Big
You know
Mac.
what? It wouldn't surprise me in America if a Big Mac was 2,210 calories. I mean, the whole meal probably comes to about 2,000 calories or something like that. I mean, I could be completely wrong there. But
I think an intake of fresh air in America is 2,210 calories.
Probably. All right, next question. How many miles is the moon and back? So when someone says, "Oh, have you to the moon and back?" How many miles is it? Your 10 seconds starts now. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What we got? 19,000 from Aidan.
70,000.
20,000. The answer is 477,710 miles.
Yeah.
Aidan either goes too big or too low.
The thing is, I don't feel like I'm not performing well either. Like I think I'm just the lesser of two evils.
Well, you're performing better than I am, Nick, and that's what counts.
All right, and the last question. I mean, there's a clear winner, so do we even need to ask this?
Rude.
All right, last question is: what date was the film The Green Mile released in cinemas in America? Your 10 seconds on the clock starts now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What have we got?
I don't know how old it is. I
feel like I'm wrong.
September 96.
Oh! Aidan's got a point! Yeah! It's December 10th, 1999.
I'm qualified!
Hey! At least he's got a point. Hey!
Yeah,
All right.
thank you. Everyone at home, please clap. Massive cheers. Feel sorry for me.
Well
Pity
done, Aidan.
applause.
Well
Thank you,
done.
guys.
Well done.
And well
Right.
done, a massive well done to Nick Gartland, who is not only our first guest, but also on the first question of the first ever game of On the Nose, managed to get on the nose.
Crazy.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely crazy. That was brilliant. That was really, really good.
That was incredible.
So the final scores at the end of the first ever game of On the Nose on the ChatterCake podcast is Nick 6, Aidan 1.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, so Nick will be put on the leaderboard with 6 points and is in first place.
Incredible.
Hey,
Well done, Nick, man.
just like Liverpool in the Premier League. Speaking of, are you excited for the return of the Prem, mate?
I'm beyond excited. Mate.
I can't.
Excited.
Well, you have the potential to win it at Goodison, don't you?
Yeah, I think City have to lose or draw.
Oh, right, okay. I mean,
but, yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. I'm just looking forward to watching some sport. It's obviously a weird one as well with what's going on. But I saw like the Bundesliga at the moment, they've done it so they have kind of fake crowd.
Yeah.
So they play it over the tannoy, which I actually think will work better. Like I don't think it should go silent.
Yeah. Do you think there's someone in a booth that's like, if someone does something wrong, he's like, press the boo button. Like if they score, press the cheer button.
Yeah, VAR. What happens if a VAR decision goes wrong? So I think they should hire me with my synth, and I'll just program it and just press some buttons. Then as well, I'll just be able to get stadiums.
Yeah, I think you should be credited for that. Anyway, man, thank you so much for coming on. It's been a pleasure having you, and we hope to have you on again in the future.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming back. In fact, quickly, before you go, mate, I have one last question for you, and this ties on to a segment. When you watch this back later, you'll see what I'm talking about, and you'll see the video. It's a whole saga. So, Nick Gartland, as a man from the north, with the north in his heart constantly, we know those northerners love a good brew. What is your ideal cup of tea, mate? And how do you go about making said cup of tea?
So, first of all, Yorkshire Tea. that is top tier.
Yeah.
Pick up Yorkshire Tea.
Bag, boiling water, spoon of sugar before the boiling water, let it brew for about 3-4 minutes. Then
life is a lie.
we do a stir.
A
Squeeze it
northerner's
against
just
the
a
top.
northerner, like an actual northerner, has just told me that sugar goes in before boiling water, and I now don't know. I'm really contemplating how life works.
I think that's more. Maybe I've committed a criminal offence here, but I just think it's more for my ease. So when I boil the kettle, I go, well, I put the tea bag in and the sugar. So I'm like,
So that
right,
I don't have to do the sugar after.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, I see you thinking.
I let the tea brew then with the sugar. Then I squeeze the tea bag to the side, and then a drop of milk, not too much milk. I like strong
not
brew.
too much milk. Like I said to Aidan earlier, I said I used to have my teas really, really milky, but now I find it. I mean, I tend to have oat milk anyway in my tea because I think it's nicer.
Same.
But
Really,
yeah,
really
anyway,
is.
that was such a ridiculous question. But when you watch the podcast back, mate, you'll see why. And you'll see this video of this American lady showing people how to make a British cup of tea. And it is...
I think I've
seen it. It's an absolute monstrosity. But anyway, Nick Gartland from the band Out at Sea. Guys, please, Nick, tell people where they can go and listen to Houdini and where they can find Out at Sea's music.
Yeah, so you can find Out at Sea on Spotify, on Apple Music. Find us on YouTube. You can actually also find us on TikTok. Houdini is on TikTok.
Ooh.
So you can dance to Houdini on TikTok. But I'm not telling you to do that. That's your decision.
The link is in the description anyway, guys. So you can go and click that link and you can listen to Houdini as much as you want because it is an absolute bop. We urge you to go and listen to it. Support the band Out at Sea. And we hope to look forward to anything.
And also, on our, as well as the link in the description on our social media pages, we will be posting a link to Nick's personal Instagram account because we all know he wants a good few followers, and the account for Out at Sea themselves. So please go and follow them. Make sure you keep up to date with what those guys are doing because I'm pretty sure you're going to be hearing them on a radio or on your phone set or whatever. Your phone set. I don't know what a phone set is, but you're going to be hearing their music pretty soon, guys. So please stay tuned. And yeah, again, Nick Gartland, thank you so much for joining us, mate. You're an absolute legend.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for having me.
No worries, mate. See you soon.
All the best.
Peace and love.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, guys. So that was the fabulous Garty himself, Nick Gartland. Yeah, I hope you guys found that just as interesting as we did because, geez, I've missed that boy. And it was so nice to see him so well. And
like we said, the link is in the description as well. So go click it, go listen, go like their page, go subscribe to them on YouTube. Do whatever you can to support them because they're great. And we hope to hear from them very, very soon. But what is it time for, Aidan?
It is time for the end of our podcast. But before we get there, we would like to do this. Well, we're going to do this every week is the plan, basically. And we're going to end with some questions from you guys that were asked on our social media pages. So every week, if anybody wants to get involved in this in future, every week on Instagram and on Twitter and on Facebook, before we actually film, so a couple of days before we film, we'll put out a little question box on our social media for you to ask any questions to us to at all you want. It can be literally
absolutely anything. Absolutely anything.
Random.
As long as it's clean.
Yeah, as long as it's
blue stuff, please.
We will try and answer as many of them as we possibly can. So I think we have 6 questions in total today.
Yeah,
I think we actually had about 15 questions come in, but we just don't have time.
Yeah, we had loads.
And some of them weren't clean. So
no, they weren't.
But yeah, so Brad, why don't you start us off, brother?
Okay, so Angela 1875 asked, what is your most memorable stage door experience, either as a fan or a performer? So I think for me, as a performer, it was Shrek. Because at the stage door at Shrek, we were treated like I felt famous.
Well,
I felt famous. I was like, I'm signing bloody programs. What is going on?
Well, I mean, I think I've got 2. I know it's a bit cheeky. I should only have 1 really, but I've got like 2, but for different reasons. And the one of them is Shrek, and it was the night, Brad. I don't know if you remember this, but I know you were stood next to me, so you should. We came out of stage door after Shrek, and this lady was with her daughter and her husband, and she asked us to sign the program.
Yeah.
And she then went on to say, "So where are you guys going next on the tour?"
Yes, I remember this.
Yeah,
I remember this. She
like,
asked where we were going next, and we were like,
where are you guys going next? And I was like, home. And she was like, no, where are you going? I was like, bed. And she was like, no, like, where are you guys going on the tour? And we were like, you do realise this is a drama school production? And she was absolutely mind blown. And that for me was really magical, knowing that they genuinely thought it was a big like pro show.
Do you know what? I wish we were going on tour with that show.
I wouldn't say my best. I mean, it was an amazing experience, but it was bizarre. It was surreal. And it was not necessarily like, guys, people that came to watch the show, like, thank you so much. Your support meant the world, like, really did. Like, it was amazing. The audiences for Back to the Future were crazy. But probably the most bizarre stage door experience I've ever had in my life was on press night. Because the way it works on press night is obviously the show comes down, everybody goes up and gets dolled up, puts all their nice clothes on, spends like half an hour having showers and getting dressed and stuff. And you basically go and wait inside of stage door, fully dressed up, ready to go. And there was a car waiting for us outside. We all got sent off in different cars. So like some of the ensemble went, and then the principals all went together.
Yeah.
So basically what happened was somebody came through stage door and went, right, the principal's car is here for you guys. And the door swung open and we were like herded out as quickly as possible. And normally on like at stage door, there were no railings either side. People could just come straight up to us, but there were railings and there was a carpet going down to the car.
Really?
Taking photographs. It was a bit like a proper like press shoot. And they were just like in the car. And we just literally had to like run past, wave at people and dive straight into the back of this big black cab. And it was just the most bizarre experience. I was like, I sat in the car and I looked at Ollie Dobson, who plays Marty McFly, and I just went, what on earth just happened? And he was like, I don't know, mate. It was like, I've done it 2 or 3 times now, and it never gets any like more normal. But yeah, it was just so surreal.
That's so mad. I mean, I thought the one at Shrek was crazy, like the fact that we were signing programs. But imagine coming out the stage door. Was it a red carpet?
I think so, mate. I can't really remember that. I know there was a massive red carpet outside. Because we basically we were getting in the car to go to the after party, which was at the Science Museum. Because Back to the Future, like the producers had hired out the Science Museum in the centre of Manchester, like a 5-minute drive from the theatre. And there was a massive red carpet outside, and the DeLorean was outside the Science Museum and stuff. And we had a live band on. It was it was incredible. It was just such a surreal night. But yeah, sorry. Right, I'll move on to the next question. So, right, question, funny one, bit of a fun one from George P. Hargrave. Hi, George. So this question is: how much would a woodchuck chuck?
Oh,
woodchuck could chuck wood.
My God.
I'm going to go for a metric ounce.
Same. I'll just say that because I don't know.
Okay, moving on.
I wish I did. Okay, so on Twitter, Rachel Miller asked, who are your dream dinner guests and why? That's a good question. That's a really good question. I know exactly who mine would be.
Okay, you go.
Straight away. Robin Williams.
Oh, that's such a good shout.
Robin Williams.
Yeah,
he is one of the funniest. Do you know what? I was so gutted when he died.
Yeah, man.
I was so gutted when he died. Literally, do you know what's really weird?
What?
When the night he died, I was watching Family Guy. Do you remember when Family Guy was on BBC Three?
But yeah, when it was airing
on BBC Three, before it was on ITV2, it came on BBC Three, and I was watching it one night, and it came up that said Robin Williams had committed suicide.
Right.
But the episode before it was the one where everything that Peter touched turned into Robin Williams. And I remember that news segment being
freaking.
I remember that news being breaking news. So BBC Three couldn't have known before they were going to air that episode. I don't know, they might have done. But yeah, it was so weird. I remember thinking how bizarre it was.
That's really crazy.
Yeah, it's bizarre, innit? But yeah, Robin Williams would be mine. I fucking love him. He's amazing.
Okay, straight away. Lee Evans.
That's such a good one. Why didn't I think of him? Oh,
Lee
man.
Evans, because I want to cry and be like, "Why did you retire?" And
I think it was. Oh, Tommy Cooper's a good one.
Yeah.
I think he retired to spend more time with his fam.
Yeah, he said it on the Jonathan Wash show, didn't he?
Yeah.
He said that he wanted. He said for far too many years I've been neglecting my wife, and he said I just want to spend more time. with her.
Yeah. Then how about then? So you got Lee Evans.
Yeah.
Tommy Cooper.
Robin Williams. He said Robbie Williams.
Robbie Williams. No, not Robbie.
And I think it's Mary Candy.
Although Robbie would be good. Norman Wisdom.
Oh yeah, I've got his box set somewhere.
Have you?
Whether it's my place in London, I've got a Norman Wisdom box set.
Oh, mad. Yeah, but I think those would be our dream dinner guests. If it was me, Aidan, hosting a dinner party, those are the people that we'd invite. That would be the best dinner party in the world.
Right, okay.
Moving on. Have you got a question? Have you?
Yeah, there's a question
from anyone.
This is from the wonderful Ollie Derham. Hi, Ollie. And the question simply is, Biff? And yes, I can confirm. Yeah, Biff. Hi.
Does it just say Biff ?
Yeah, Biff ? So,
well, what's the answer?
Back to Future in Manchester. So the next one is from Madeline Wrigley. So hi, Madeline. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And the question is, when will we get the songs for Back to the Future, the musical, on Spotify, etc.? So basically, when is there going to be a cast recording released? So we were supposed to record a cast recording, and we were supposed to record a cast recording at the end of our run in Manchester, and obviously because of everything that's gone on, that just didn't happen. That was something that was stripped away from us, unfortunately. So I cannot tell you when a cast recording will come, but I know there will be one at some point, because I know that the producers and all of the creative team want to do a cast recording and get one out there so you guys can hear the music of the show. But
I'd like to hear it as well.
Yeah, I don't know when it's going to be, so I'm sorry, but it's a very vague answer. But yeah.
Nice. And then the last question we've had is, if we weren't performers, what jobs would we be doing?
Ooh.
I know mine.
Okay, go.
Well, I say I know mine, but I mean, this is what I would like to have been doing if I wasn't a performer. So remember in year 10 when we had work experience?
Yeah.
So I was lucky enough to get 2 weeks work experience at the Albury Fire Station as a firefighter.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
and there,
class.
I achieved my level 2 in understanding firefighting. And I was able to put out fire, learn how...
You're level 2 in understanding firefighting. Is that where you stand in a corner and go,
oh, yeah, I understand firefighting now. Oh, yeah.
There's your level 2, mate. Well done. Brilliant work.
Well done, mate. Well done. And that standing in the corner was great. So we, as a team or as a crew, we rolled out the hoses, strapped it into the gun. So there's 4 people in each team. So there's like the person who has the gun, and then the 2 people that roll out the hose, and then whoever is number 2 on the team has the job of taking the lid off the drain, and then screwing the pipe in, and then connecting the other hose.
No way.
The thing. It was a crazy experience. It was mad, and we did a physical exam at the end after the first week, because the course was only meant to be a week long, but we got kept on for the second week because the first group were that good. We actually taught the second group parts of the training that we'd already done. And then for the final part of the second week, we were lucky enough to be taken to West Bromwich Fire Station, where they have like a fire training house there. They filled the house with dry ice or fake smoke.
Yeah.
And they put 3 crash test dummies in there. And we had to get them out in under 15 minutes.
That's mental.
And I think
that's proper fire training.
I think we smashed it as well. Like we got 3 dummies out, and I think in about 12 minutes.
Oh, wicked.
And they were really, really impressed with us. And the group of lads that we had there were amazing. So that's what I would have been aspiring to do if I wasn't a performer. But yeah, I would have loved to have done it. But obviously, my love comes first for the arts, darling. But yeah, I would have loved to have been a firefighter. It would have been great.
Amazing.
What about you, bro?
I think if my career had taken a different path, I mean, it's kind of, I mean, I say kind of, it's definitely within the same industry. But you know this. You know how much I am obsessed with conducting and musical direction, and how much I love orchestration and stuff. So I would love to have either become a composer or a conductor. I would love to have gone down the path of that, because although I've conducted shows before, I have, and I've conducted bands before, I've never really conducted a full-scale musical, and that's something that I've always really wanted to do, and one day hopefully I will do it, even amateur dramatics and stuff, if I MD for amateur dramatics and stuff like that. But I just really want a musical direct, so that I think that's what I'd probably be focusing on if I wasn't an actor.
Yeah. Amazing.
What is it time for, Brad?
Oh, it's time for
Aidan's Thought of the Week. So every week, literally just before the titles roll, I'm going to leave you with a thought, or Brad's going to leave you with a thought, just to get you thinking. We're not going to discuss it. There's going to be no discussion on the topic whatsoever. I'm literally just going to say something, and I'm going to let it stew with you for a week until next week's podcast. So this one was given to me by a gorgeous friend of mine, Jack Sanders, and it's so completely random, but just have a think about it, because it's baffling when you really think about it.
What is it?
So here you go. Isn't it crazy that the brain named itself? Thanks for watching, guys. Like Brad said, go follow all of our socials, subscribe to our YouTube, and we'll see you back here at 7 p.m. next Saturday. Thank you so much for coming. It really means the world if you've made it this far. Thank you so much. You're all absolute legends. Brad is completely and utterly baffled over there. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for coming. All and peace and love and just everything. Good vibes is coming your way. Ooh,
that is mad.
Big love, guys, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week, guys.
Mwah.
Bye.
You blow my mind, or you never listen. Your head is in the clouds, so short of time, says the true magician. You disappear when you think you're alive. You're just a Houdini. Your chains are just for me. You're just a Houdini. I'm taking back the key. You're just a Houdini. Your chains are just for me. You're just a
I'll probably put some kind of effect here.